Okay. All right. This should work here. I hopefully you guys can see my desktop here. So I just basically have loaded up a bunch of mods here. It's basically JK Outskirts, Rin's Whiterun City Limits, the Western Watchtower, Kojak's Whiterun Market, Kojak's Market for JK's Outskirts, the patches, that type of stuff. I've got a patch for the walls for Whiterun walls redone. I've got Whiterun walls redone there as well, with plus all the clutter and the patches. I have Willybach mod. I've got your mod EEK. I've got T Skyrim because he had some interesting assets we kept outside. I've got Capital Whiterun expansion, JK, and Dawn of Skyrim, and the cutting room floor, and then the Whiterun walls here. So basically, this is what we end up with. And the main one that I want to look at here is, oh shit, I can't do this because I didn't pick a masters here. The main one I just want to start with here would be like the exterior. So let's open this up at Whiterun exterior. Um, this is quite a bit of mods. There may be some overlap because it's just I just got a mess of mods that I've been editing and stuff. So and there's definitely some cleanup work that needs to be done around here, so don't mind the insanity. Um, but this is basically the long and short of what it's going to look like, I think. We're just going to get a general idea. We'll zoom out as this begins to load up here. This new creation kit, it's a lot faster, but then it like doesn't load certain areas, so I don't know what the heck's going on with it. There's some weird stuff that goes on. My older version was kind of nice, too, but maybe it's just because it's loading a lot of mods right now. Ignore some of this stuff. That's all disabled. I'm gonna push it under the map and stuff, but I'm always work in progress. But all right, so the idea here is this: like the Whiterun walls redone looks amazing. I think it's important to put that in the load order. People are all about it. It actually fits really nicely with Willybach's bathroom over here, which is amazing. You literally don't have to change anything. I think there's like one piece of wood on the wall I need to move over slightly. Then you basically have your area here. There's some conflicts with Capital Whiterun here that they put in here. This will all get deleted. And then I think this is a very, very important piece to maintain from Willybach. I think it's great. This stuff here, I'm not sure. I think this is Capital Whiterun. How the heck do I check for that again? Whatever. I'm pretty sure it's Capital Whiterun. So usually that's not there, but we'll have to figure that out. I usually don't run Capital Whiterun, but we're going to have to patch for Capital Whiterun and or use like some compatibility version that just only does their exterior and doesn't mess with the exterior here. There's also a version for that, so we can do that. The cool part is there are these two mods here that don't conflict with much. We're going to have to change like some of the things here, but this house here doesn't conflict with a ton. Make a small little patch here or there. This house here doesn't conflict, which I like that Willybach has. This area here is actually going to be this is an area for a new mod that they've really done Khajiits really well. It's like a traveling band of Khajiits that come in with their caravan and set up. So they basically turn this area into like this cool Khajiit area. So I'll have to put that mod in there, as well, so you can see that. I think it's cool what you did here, Willybach, with the stalls, because this area was always kind of empty and nobody really messed with it. So this is good. And there's this weird kind of crease in the wall here that needs to be fixed. Then you got your mod, the Contraband Center. This is Kojak's mod. It adds like this little area here. It adds two stalls right here. The other one must be deleted or something. I must have deleted it. But there's two stalls that one of them overlaps here. And then the big thing here. This thing, this tent, and then this tent here. So we'd have to create a patch if we wanted to keep Kojak's. But my feeling is if we're gonna redo this area, fuck Kojak's. Let's just get rid of his shit because he's not really a big mainstream guy like the JKs. It's not like we're ditching JK and Rins type stuff when they're gonna like not like that and not create patches. Kojak is like an easy fix. Just delete Kojak's from your load order. It's not that hard, you know. And then we've got your whole city here. I basically did a botch job patch of the wall here just for my own purposes of sanity and things. I took this actually out of T Skyrim's thing. That's why it's floating here. I thought it was a cool asset that I can use later. Um, the idea here is like, so I mean, if you look at this, like this is really cool. Like even the way it is, like this could be like this creates this building, and this building creates the industrial center of Whiterun. So you could see there's trade and commerce going on. I like that. I love the idea over here of the noble house, that the nobility that runs the area. I think that's great too. I considered with this house right here something that we could create into the Thieves Guild, but that just depends on what we want to do. If we want to create a like an impoverished area, we can do that, within the framework of this, and then we can make the Thieves Guild kind of part of running that impoverished area, or create the impoverished area with the Thieves Guild running it. So like the nobility will run this area of commerce in Whiterun, and then you got like the impoverished area over here. I even love the fact that the hooker house is over here. I love this Wayfair area, which is like I think you could add that Arabic component, like the different races could be in this community and have some kind of representation here. Like I love that idea. Like not everybody. I'm not saying like you got to get high elves and stuff, but I think like it could be cool to to do that. I think you could replace this area with something a little different. Like these are just general homes. I think if we were going to make an impoverished area, you could ditch these and make this more like the trade, commerce, or again like representation of like another race or something over here. Because here, remember, the Khajiits are going to be represented here. The Arabic guys are represented here, right? The commerce is represented here. The trade of like the booths, I think, is represented all throughout. Like you got booths here. This is T Skyrim stuff. But these are just normal assets, so we could recreate this anywhere. Stuff here, is the market, different booths market. You've got the little tax collector guy here. I love that. So that's sort of the thought there. Okay. Which I already love this area. It fits like really good into Whiterun period, and nothing overlaps. If you look as we get into this, let me see where this is where Whiterun, capital Whiterun, sort of takes off. I don't know if it will load here or not. I'm not sure. But this, there's just something limiting the amount of things it loads in this for me since I upgraded to this new platform. So I don't know what's going on here, but you'll see like this doesn't really interfere. Like this is kind of where the wall goes. I think it kind of comes out to here, but it's it's pretty much generally in this area. So you have this entirety of this area down here we can bring into and make it like impoverished and stuff, like you could potentially drag out the wall even further, or you could wall off like this area and make this more of an impoverished sort of rundown version of this outside of the walls. We have this basically this entire like swatch and even a connection to the road that is just pretty much unutilized. So if you wanted to do an impoverished area, that's the place to do it. I think all this stuff is pretty much well touched. I mean, this little thing is awesome, and here that I even added some assets to your thing, Willybach, that is also associated with that. This thing is awesome. This thing will be great. You got to move up the cage a little bit, but that thing will be great. I think Capital Whiterun even adds like horses right here in the front. I don't know what that's all about, but that's fine. I think that's a Capital Whiterun asset. Um, and then so I think like personally, in my opinion, we could properly redo this outside. Meaning like I think we could use what's already here or decide to redo the whole thing. I'd be fine too. But we could properly make an expansion of the outside of Whiterun right here. Make this whole area, redo it. This really is not touched by a whole lot of things. I'm pretty sure like this will get removed if we use the 1.3 version of Capital Whiterun. So it would just be the Kojak's Whiterun, like cutting out Kojak's out of this. Um, and then we can use this existing framework here for something really cool. And we could always move out the walls or whatever you wanted to do. The walls are, I just made it kind of close to the side here following it. But we can move those out. You can do anything you want there. But I think that would be a really cool thing to do for us. Let me see if I can load back in, like load out and load back in. I wonder if it'll let me. Uh, well, I might as well show you some of the stuff here too that's going on here. So while I'm at it. So there's just some cool stuff within Whiterun over the years I've accumulated. Now this is so many mods overlapping, it's going to be like a joke, but I think it'll be kind of cool eventually. Um, and this stuff, there's, yeah, I mean, whatever. We'll, we'll get to all this. Um, okay. So this is JK's, so clearly we've got to work around JK and friends, so this stuff here, JK's, it actually fits really well with the new uh, uh, walls. I didn't delete this section, so it's not showing up as the new wall, but yeah, it fits in perfect with walls redone. You had to move a little bit of clutter and stuff. I always really liked this like thing that you put together here. We'll get rid of all this, but this booth here, Willybach, this was one of my favorite things that you made there. I think that would be really cool to like open up with a booth like that or maintain some semblance of that booth. So I kept that. I actually do really like these fire pits, but I'm not 100% sure I'm convinced I love these. But like, if we were able to find something and keep something grand like this at the entrance, that's unique. I think those are really freaking cool. Um, I think all around Breeze Home needs to be redone because there's a new Breeze Home mod called Ravens Breeze Home. Everybody's using it. Nobody's using the old Breeze Home anymore because the new one like shits on the old version. There's that. I think that for the most part, EEK did a pretty good job of cleaning up this area. I think it's good to keep this kind of clean. I have to re-go in and figure out if I'm going to use, Willybach or JK's. That was my plan at least. I think this area was really cool. Like EEK, you made this and I loved it. So I put it here. There's way so much overlap, but I basically made something like that here, and I really like these assets, and I was going to repurpose these over here in this area that you were using just to make it kind of cool. But it was just a really cool little area, I thought, to do like a vendor for alchemy and stuff. And then this thing you had too, I repurposed it over here as well, so it kind of looks like a little flower alchemy shop. Put two mage type alchemist types back here to man it. I think that would be really, really cool. So that was something that you inspired me on to repurpose that. And then these two things in Dawn of Skyrim I think are ugly as fuck. Like I think you could replace it with your fishery and the other thing. I think you could just straight up just swap out that and we can make a patch for that if we ever did it interior wise. I think this building here is like it's actually patched out. Both of these buildings are patched out with Dawn of Skyrim um, and JK's. So like this was like kind of deleted. I think you could potentially make this into like a little slum area behind some of these vendors, or you could potentially make this like a vendor area if we cleaned it up and dealt with some of the landscape issues, as well. If you want to keep houses here, this is like the only housing structure that really works, is this like tripod house thing that you did, Willybach, and T Skyrim did the same thing. So if you do want to maintain more houses, that's the only way that works. This house actually fits really nice. You just have to make a small adjustment to JK Skyrim that comes along the side here versus like blocking this. And this house, and I love what you did in the interior of this house. I think we could redo the interior a little bit and just make it super customized and super clean. This is like a bookstore. It's awesome. I love that it's attached to Bellathor's Goods and next to the maid shop. It fits perfect. I love this house. There's a little maid shop called Mystic Meg's here, and then there's the bakery, and those two things overlap here. EEK made the bakery, you made Mystic Meg's. I think it'd be cool to repurpose Mystic Meg's. I love the purple, flames. Although I thought the purple flames worked really well at the temple, so I moved the purple flames to the temple on one of the assets that I had. This area I think could be used pretty well to like, kind of be like an outdoor bar, hangout stuff where people would hang out and gather. This is the only way that this area works with homes. Is oh crap, where am I? Is right here the way T Skyrim did it. He put two houses back here. So if we wanted to put houses here, I think we could. They fit. It's a little tight in here, but I think the houses fit, and I think it'd be cool to like add some people in these houses. This is a great way to fit houses if we wanted to fit houses here. We can ditch them if it's too much. This is too much with the houses here. But like this thing's too much. So you got to, there's some overlap here of everybody's mods, so this would have to be fixed. I moved Willybach's little thing that he had over here in my main load order, and I love this thing too that was outdoor. It's like a Skinner's thing with an NPC that EEK had, so I moved that there. I thought that was a really cool asset as well. This area was inspired by it looks a lot cooler in game, but this area was inspired by Big Head. And what he did is he kind of put like this, like, kind of, it looks terrible in Creation Kit, but it's like these cool green things and like a little dryad in there, and this would be removed too. But that was a cool area I really liked. Let's see what else. I loved this area here, but with Capital Whiterun, it would need to be repurposed, maybe to over here or something. But this whole area where you kind of build the tombstones, I thought was fucking genius by you, Willybach. So like that whole thing needs to be like moved over here, and I think that could work still, and just give the NPC the ability to move over there and work on it, So that would have to be patched or moved if we ever did anything interior wise. I actually really like how clean EEK does this whole area here. I would ditch like these steps and stuff. This thing sucks, but I like there's a thing here that I like underneath all this crap here. I love this area. There are mods here that put stuff in here called Whiterun Deal, and then there's another one, Nords, something of the Nords. I like that. I like, this is the greatest asset of all time. Like one of the greatest is this little thing that EEK does. He creates this awesome thing with like an orc alchemist. It's just never leaving my load order, so we have to put that in any mod we do in Whiterun. I like this area. I think that's really cool. This was the orphanage. I like that idea of being next to Dragonreach. You have an orphanage, and then you have a school. So I kept those. Like I like that idea. Oh no, here's the school. I'm sorry. Um, so orphanage. What the fuck is that? What is that? Oh, that's Capital Whiterun. Oh, okay. I was like, what is that? Okay, that's Capital. Yeah, okay. Oh wow, that landscaping's really fucked there somehow. Why is that fucked? Huh. Well, that needs to be dealt with. There's like a landscaping issue there. I don't know what that is, but yeah. Anyway, all right, but then I like the idea of having a school here. I really like pretty much. I like a lot of the stuff that's added back here. I don't know about this. I don't know what that's from. That's a horse stable. I actually don't like that at all. Um, but there's a lot of cool stuff that's added back here. It's like I think this was from Willybach. I think you can ditch some of this stuff. I don't. There's clearly the Capital Whiterun must have added some things in here. But there's like there's a door you could put here that was the executioner's house. Then here there's like an abandoned shack that was really cool. That literally like it got abandoned because you go inside and there's like a door that goes to nowhere that you could make into something really cool. Um, I love this thing here that this I think was Cato's or no Jir or something had an idea to put a dragon on top of here, so I just plopped a dragon on top. I thought that was a great idea. I love the dragon here. I put fire in it just for fun. I love this bird thing that you put on top here, Willie Bach. So those are really cool assets to me that I think are really fucking cool. And then what is this? That's the question. So is that Capital? Oh yeah, that's Capital as well. It must be Capital as well. So this is also part of Capital Whiterun. It takes over this whole side over here as well. I think things are just not loading in here though. So yeah, I believe there is like another part of Whiterun. I have to look it up, but it's there's something that I need to figure out for you guys. But anyway, I just wanted to show that, and then I'll stop the video for now. But at least it shows like something about Whiterun and all that stuff.